Well, hello there, mortals. I have something special for you today, so prepare your teleportation circles and get your plane shifts prepared. We wake up, and we stand off in the street, just off to the side of the inn, some amber lighting coming out, the smell of sea salt penetrating the air. So let's wander in. Eris, how would you describe Zeke? Ezekiel Fairweather. Ezekiel Fairweather? Well, I only saw him for a couple of days. He was rather helpful here in the city. He managed to stop Vincent the Fox and relatively saved some of our people, so that way we can keep living our lives. And he, he's a nice enough guy, I suppose. It wasn't my favorite. Wasn't my least favorite though either. Our next stop, we head south, past Salus, past the little goblin cave, and we head in towards Wasto near the river. Our first stop is the Eclipse. We ring the little bell. Our servant friend appears, and we're let in without another moment's notice. After all, we are pretty well known here. You see the same hearth, now the odd blue-colored furniture that Gilmore prefers, and we talk to one of our dear friends. So, Eilonwy, what would you say towards Zeke's character? Well, he was hard to describe, I would say. He was very nice to me. I remember he saved dinner that one time. I almost fell down the stairs again. And he was just always oddly kind. Never overly so, just enough, so that you knew that you mattered at least some way to him. That if you needed something, he could quite possibly be there. Now we walk down past the street, heading towards the main Plaza Vale. We knock on a shop filled with windows. You can see magnificent wares all throughout. And, Sherry, where's Gilmore? Can you get Gilmore for me, please? Yeah, one more. Thank you. Sorry, folks, give me 1 second. Yes, welcome to Gilmore's Glorious Goods. How can I help you today? Well, Gilmore, I actually was hoping that you could speak a little on Ezekiel Fairweather. You know, one of the. Oh yes, I remember him well. He had quite a mind on him. Don't know where it was half the time, but it was there. That's for sure. He certainly spent a good amount of gold in my establishment, and he proved himself quite well in the Water Festival. Eilonwy had quite an attachment for his kindness. I knew, however, that his kindness was short-lived in, shall we say, that mind of his that exists somewhere else. Shall I cast plane shift, Gilmore? No, that won't be necessary. Our next step, we head on over towards the Temple District and find our squat little gnome friend.
Hello there!
Hello, Father Tuin. So, could you please speak on Zeke?
Yes?
Now, perhaps.
Of course!
Your thoughts, Father Tuin?
What?
Your thoughts on Ezekiel Fairweather?
Oh! Yeah! He's tall, real tall. Pointy sword. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, thank you for your time, Father Tuin. So we head on over to the company houses just down the road. We knock on the company house of the nine-sided coin and wander in. Fucking shit! And we approach Badger, who, well, is hard at work. Badger, could you please speak a little bit to Zeke? Speak to Zeke? Yeah, I suppose I have a minute. He's all right. He's a hard worker. He's saved my life a number of times. He's a good employee of the nine-sided coin and value him very much. And I bloody well hope he comes back alive from that stupid mission that the Duke sent him on. Is that good enough? I would say that would suffice. Yes. Actually, one more thing. If you could just let him know that it's all right, I forgive him. Will do, Badger. Now we head down towards the military academy and heading towards the prison. I flash them my card and I'm let right in. We head down the spiral staircase of the prison tower and we meet a cell that contains a small dwarf drawing, looks like on a tablecloth with charcoal. Sten, could you please speak a little on Zeke, the one who cut off your arm?
Well, Zeke, well, I don't like him.
Right, of course. What don't you like about him, Sten?
Well, he cut off my arm. I don't like that. Well, he wasn't too, well, no, he was mean. He was nasty. I didn't like him. Nope, that's it. Hope he dies. Is that all?
That's all, Sten, thank you. Popping back up to the surface, we head down the road and go towards the Artisans District. Just outside the Artisans District, we hear the banging of metal near the blacksmith's forge, the Royal Blacksmith's Forge, where Hunro Birch and Mary Birch is still visiting from Salis. Hello, Birches. Would you mind speaking a little bit on Zeke, Ezekiel Fairweather? You trained him, Hunro, and Mary. Well, you were good friends, I believe. Well, I suppose I don't mind. He was a good trainee. He learned the shield real quick, and wasn't a puss about it. Two things that matter really in life: don't be a puss, and don't be a puss. Mary, would you like to add anything to that?
Well, yes, he was genius, actually, over in Salis. He managed to almost, well, single-handedly stop the Fey attack with, well, I'd like to say, our hard work and ingenuity. He made this weird chain net thing, and it seemed to work quite well for him. He was always, I don't know, always rugged, handsome, and, yeah, I hope to see him soon. I'd like to give him something when he gets back.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Now, one of the last stops on our trip, we cast our handy-dandy teleportation circle and hop on in. We arrive on a ship, now with several holes, patchwork, and other numerous things. And, well, we see a heavily plate-armored man with a giant sword and several crossbows at his hip. Furiston, would you mind talking to me quickly about Ezekiel Fairweather? I know you're busy traveling, but it is important.
Well, all right. He saved me from the goblins, and he saved me from the goblins, and he saved that Stormbreaker fella too, I suppose, which was a nice gesture. We continued on our way, and we managed to stop some nasty old women from terrorizing men and children alike. And then we got to Westo, and well, he just helped things there too. He was always just very helpful. And then I got sent on a mission on his ship that apparently he gifted to the nine-sided coin. And here we are, yeah. It's a little worse for wear, but I'd like to say I wish to duel Zeke again in the near future if I survive this. So yeah, he's a strong fella. I wouldn't cross swords with him unless I knew I could.
Thank you, Furiston. We hop back in our teleportation circle and just think of a different location this time. And now we arrive on another ship, actually. This one is at a dock, though. We hop on into the captain's quarters, and we see someone wearing a crimson captain's coat, with her feet up against the desk. Her tricorn hat pulled off to the side. Her swords all askew against the chair she sits upon. Sasha, it's been quite a while. Do you remember Ezekiel Fairweather? Of course I remember Ezekiel Fairweather. Piece of shit, almost killed me. Killed my fucking brother. I swear to God, the next time I see any of them, but especially him, I'm gonna gut him in two. Well, I meant more along the lines of his character, but he seems strong, but certainly nothing I can't handle. Don't you worry. We'll meet again in due time, and this will resolve the way it should have. All right, well, I appreciate your time, Sasha. Now, to the last spot on our list, Teleportation circle won't work for this one, so we prepare our plane shift and cast it off and step into the gate. We arrive in a darkened atmosphere, no discernible features around us, but I know how to call upon him when I need. Sin, would you perhaps come this way and, well, offer some insight into Zeke, considering you had the, I would say, closest relationship? There's a figure with long black hair coming down to his waist, and almost tan skin, smooth, perfect, comes out from the darkness. Well, I suppose I could offer some insight. He was quite useful at what he did. His soul was very, very pliable. That much I can say. I must thank him, after all, for what he did for me. Perhaps I will see him again, or perhaps he will just be of more use. Zeke was a very, very good champion of mine, whether he wanted to believe it or not. I actually do hope I meet him again, in one world or another. Zeke was my true champion. Well, thank you very much for your time. Of course. Now, you must bid farewell. I have some things to attend to. And that's all. That is the end of our trip. That's the the shorthand version, I suppose, of a obituary for Ezekiel Fairweather. Some of the denizens, of course, knowing, and some of them fully knowing what happened. But regardless to say, Zeke was a powerful, powerful person who gave an interesting dynamic to the Wayward Souls in every encounter, in every possible way. He, well, he killed Vincent the Fox. He stopped the goblins. He destroyed the hags in a Perryton that was terrorizing Salis. When he got to Wasto, rode off Sasha Hallwell, killing her brother, stopping that entire mess. Then delving down into the crypts, stopping the white that was raining terror on Wasto. Then, from there, killed some gnolls, managed to disappear for a little bit and void the swamps entirely. And then from there, arrived at the Underdark and Nock. And arriving there, fought off some nasty scorpions, but the final battle was too much. Rudrick, his final enemy, was something that he could not get away from. Our story continues.